The Diary of a Certified Psychopath. Off the crank. Which is louder? I pondered, amidst another lightly lubed chain of arbitrary thoughts, the like of which shall never be detected or interpreted by the mono-tracked minds of Strava's aerobically motivated fitness fetishists with all their algorithmic might. Was it the developing creak in the threaded bottom bracket of my venerable vintage trailblazer? Or perhaps our ever-vocal Cheapers Union, chanting their piercing epilogue to a perpetually percussive twilight oratorio? Then again, maybe it was the muted roars of a mercifully mild northeasterly beast, commanding the sea's carpeted surface to mimic its ruffled fur, and evoking contented whispers from the leafy moors of Windlesham Garden's deciduous sentinels. No. Surely it had to be the cacophonous drone of several thousand overworked desk jockeys, jostling for temporary control over every square inch of neutral tarmac in their eternal territorial struggle for supremacy over Sussex's war-torn coast. Yet there's still the outside chance that it could have been the tangible sizzle of distant drizzle, brewing in a cumulus cauldron that loomed high and large above Lansing's flourishing nature reserve. In any case, answers not on a digital postcard, please, nor any primitive form of prepaid snail mail. Instead, collar the first wood pigeon you find who is currently being preened by Royal Mail to serve as a substitute postal worker in light of pending nationwide strikes, and get them to fly it first class to the renovated phone box beside Shoreham's depot. No prizes for the winner. Small steps for mumkind. Sheer and unadulterated adulation, delivered in a deluge of over 10,000 petabytes per nanosecond from the digital cloud, are now credited to your mum's freemium fitness tracking account for this surgical dissection of almost 2,000 Apple-proven strides along the crazily paved causeway of her immediate vicinity on a borderline balmy spring dusk. Her fortuitous choice of loose-fitting attire resulted in a gust-assisted getaway evoked by this week's irrepressible east by magnetic northeasterly, which added minor sentient frigidity to the tall teen temperatures reported by our redoubtable climate sleuths. Our mission-critical motion analytics confirmed that these turbulent interceptions did not compromise her balance, whilst individual strides remained evenly spaced, with excellent lateral stability, and only a very slight pronation detected on her left foot. Excessive wear on the outside edge of both soles suggests a tendency to heel strike, though this might also have been a result of those cheap counterfeit Converses that we recommended she changed after her last walk. Should she find midsole strikes difficult to execute, please ask her to consider upgrading urgently to a pair of genuine orthopedic stilettos for optimal Achilles support. Andante spinonato. Scarcely the stroke of foul fortune I'd anticipated for this revolutionary vinyl preservation project, which I vowed to resume shortly after peering through one of several single glazed portals to the great outdoors, and observing a brigade of frayed pendants that dangled beneath the broad rear balcony of my local libation station, flapping in agitated protest to the blustery shenanigans of a resurgent southeasterly alliance. Moreover, the mountainous conclave of cumulonimbus hovering high over Shoreham Harbour's silent watchtower lent credence to Mystic Met's cautions that I would be subject to the wrong kind of sound soaking were I to brave the elements and risk waterlogged ears blocking any strains of music that just happened to seep out of two lightly showerproof IEMs. That said, and readdressing the aforementioned hard luck, the sight of yet another densely grooved disc, populated with an almost identical selection of orchestral transcriptions by the very same composer and arranger, did not evoke my enthusiasm. though on this occasion the fact that every performance would be conducted by the music's transcriber restored a modicum of intrigue. The toccata and fugue's fluctuating dynamics and wildly varying tempi, captured in this instance by Decker's innovative Phase 4 stereo system, itself a primitive incarnation of spatial surround sound, outran my legs and capacity for physical expressiveness within the opening bars, despite the Czech Philharmonic's slower pace under their legendary maestro. Following a free-wheeled convenience stop to flip sides, the three latter tracks comprised two chorales, followed by Bach's monumental Passacaglia and Fugue in C minor, with the former being sacred works, originally scored for voice, chamber ensembles and solo organ. Despite Stokowski's lavish orchestrations that feature heavily augmented string, woodwind and brass sections alongside supplementary percussion, these pieces were barely audible under the thrum of my comfort cave's simulated tropical breeze, though the captivating melodies I did hear never once compelled cadences to dip below the fixed 33 RPM of my faithful Thoran's turntable.